Biggest mistake you can make when dating a high value man. A lot of ladies are interested in dating high value men. They usually want to know all the do's, what things they can do to attract them, ways to dress, what to say. Yet oftentimes they don't focus on the don'ts. Even if you do everything else correctly, yet you do this really big don't, you'll turn off high value men and you usually won't get a second chance. Let's get into it. Hi, I'm Dr. Dylan Wilson, the couples coach. Since college, I've been helping couples with dating, falling in love, and relationships. In this video, I'm sharing with ladies, if you're serious about your future, tips on how to meet, date, and marry the high value rich man of your dreams. All right, a viewer sent me a link to this video, and the video went on to tell women that for dating a high value man, they shouldn't lower their standards. They should make high value men chase them and not chase high value men, yada, yada, yada. It was more a thing about telling the women not to lessen themselves to get a man, which is sound advice at any time for any woman. Yet, what I will say is this video is not titled properly because this doesn't apply if you want to date high value men or high value rich men. This applies if you want to date average guys. It should be titled Women Who Effortlessly Attract Good Average Men Do One Thing Different. One viewer of the video left a comment that you see on the screen now. I'll read it to you. We are the prize. End of story. Men value what they have to work for and earn. If he's not putting in the effort, he's not the one. I actually love to reply to her in the opposite. I've read that in a woman's voice. I don't know how she sounds. We've never met. She's just like a post online. So that's kind of how I envision it in my head. All right. So I actually love to reply to her comment, which I'll read for you as well. For average guys, your words are accurate. Yet for what people term high value men, we don't chase women. We do not consider you the prize. We choose. We don't chase. You do want to carry yourself and make your value to him self-evident so that you are a prize to be chosen. You are both prizes. Yet he knows his value is greater than yours, and he will ultimately choose from several women that are all prizes in their own right to be his mate and wife. Many of us enjoy the seduction process, what you term work. For many of us, it's not work. We're just enjoying seducing you. Yet make no mistake, you will have to work, in parentheses, put forth more effort than with an average guy to get him and chase him as well. Now, this is a perfect example of what a lot of women have to learn when they want to date high value men or high value rich men. The biggest mistake that you can make is to think of him and treat him like every other man, AKA an average guy. This is one of the fastest and most surefire ways to guarantee that you will lose him. High value men know good and damn well that they're high value men. They don't need you or anyone else to tell them that. As a matter of fact, for some of them, that's why they work so hard in the first place, so that they could be high value men and be positioned to choose from a selection of prized women. And the woman they choose is going to live an amazing life with him, a life that will never be average or common, one that you could only dream of. Now I'm going to pivot for a moment. I know a lot of guys that are six-figure men and high-value rich men. Many are my friends and buddies, some my colleagues, and they all simply want a good woman in life. If you're serious and have good intentions, I'd like to help you find your high-value man. That's why I put together the most complete online mastercourse called How to Find, Date, and Marry a Six-Figure Man. He's going to date and marry some woman. Why not you? Go to richguydatingtips.com to learn more. I guarantee you 3 things will happen when you take my course. 1, if you follow my advice, you will meet high income earning men, 6 to 7 figures or more. 2, you will start dating 6-figure men. And 3, 1 or more of them will consider you for marriage. This course is so solid that as long as you do what I share with you, then all of that will happen for you. So if dating and ideally marrying a high value man or rich man is what you desire, then definitely check it out. Okay, finishing up. I'll give you an example to illumine this point, what we were just talking about. Now, this is from my personal experience. It also has been echoed among some of my friends and colleagues who are also high value men and high value rich men. A few times I went out on dates with women who knew I was a high value man, yet I could tell they didn't know how to interact with me because they'd only interacted with men only one way before, dating average guys. Something inside of them was telling them that that approach wouldn't work with me. I could see it in their faces. Yet they didn't know what else to do. So they defaulted to their standard operating procedure. They thought that they could make me chase them. I remember on a first date, one woman telling me a litany of things that a man had to do to be with her. Oh, he needs to do this, and he needs to do that, and he needs to do the other. She went on and on. And in her mind, a man needed to do all these things to earn the privilege to be with her. And maybe that was the case for the average guys that she'd been dating. I looked at her incredulously. The woman was not a prize in any way to me. She had not distinguished herself in any way, shape, or form, professionally, socially, spiritually, financially, or even physically. And I could tell she clearly had not dated men like me before. Now, of course, that was our first and last date. So what's the takeaway from all this for you? Understand that high value men, we think differently than average men. We know that we're high value and we're prized by women, listen closely, all over the country and all around the world. Once again, all over the country and all around the world. To give you some perspective, the women I dated and chose from to make my girlfriend were women who were sitting judges, successful attorneys, politicians, very successful business owners, several medical doctors, lingerie models, very successful wealth management advisors, came from wealthy families, and the list goes on and on. Another perspective. Do you really think that a famous, rich soccer player who has women all over the world throwing themselves at him upon meeting an average woman is going to consider her to be a prize? Of course not. That would be incredibly naive to think that. So as I mentioned to the lady in the comment, you want to focus on making yourself a prize to him. We know which women are prizes and which ones are not. And we're going to choose from all the prize women, the one that we prize the most. So really, it's a different mentality that you're going to be dealing with. You will be competing with other women for his attention and affection. You're going to have to level up, and you're going to need to not only chase him, but also work to get him as well. And I can tell you, as a high value man who's experienced everything I'm sharing with you, is part of what makes dating fun for us. Contrast that with how a lot of average guys describe dating, which is typically not enjoyable, rewarding, or fun. Yet I can tell you that the gold at the end of the rainbow waiting for you with a high value man is going to be something you really love and enjoy. Why do you think so many women want a high value man of their own? Like to get more rich guy dating tips in your inbox? Sign up at richguydatingtips.com. And make sure you watch my next video. A high value man is only high value if you value what he has. See you next video.